Rebuild something, you have to figure out who you were in the first place. And I don't know if you've noticed this, but we're living in a bullying society now. If the government doesn't get its way, the response is get that CEO fired. They're now going after a CEO of a major drug company. He's a conservative. He's outspoken. They've threatened him before during the healthcare thing, and now they're threatening the board. They say, you get rid of him or we'll do no business with you. And for a drug company, the government saying they're not going to do business with the drug company, that's death. As Andy Stern said, we watched how they voted. We know where they live. And they will use the power of, the persuasion of power. Is this who we've become? How much more do you take? Is this really the land of the free and the home of the brave? The fifth most searched question on Google on Sunday was, who is bin Laden? Nearly 1 in 5 searches for Osama bin Laden were by teenagers. 25% of all searches overall for Osama bin Laden came from those under 24. They didn't even know. How are we going to expect them to defend freedom? Do they even remember what real freedom is? I don't. I don't even know if I've ever had it in my lifetime, but I had it closer. September 10th, 2001. Do you remember what it was like to go into an airport and not have the lines of security and take off the belt to be able to go to the ticket counter and to the gate? Do you remember what that was like? Do you remember what real freedom was like when we were kids? When our parents would let us play outside. We'd get up at the crack of dawn on a Saturday and we'd race to do our chores. We're like, come on, Mom. She's like, finish your chores first. And then you'd finally finish and you'd be gone. And the screen door would slap against the front of the house and all you'd hear is her voice saying, be home in time for dinner. Freedom for parents to do that? We don't have any thought that we're ever going back to that again. We don't have any thought that we could ever be in an airport again without those long lines. Come on. We have no thought that we're going to be able to go back to the way things were at some time where we were decent. So I ask you, well, who are we? Are individuals and pioneers and dreamers and people of courage? Is that what they want? Charitable people, fair-minded people, people of faith in God, is that where you're headed? Isn't it time we square our shoulders and make sure first that we are those things in our own personal life? So you have to do that first, and then the next step is define the idea. What are we moving towards? Don't tell me that we're moving towards 1776. Don't tell me that we're headed towards 1791. We want some of the ideas of 1791. We want those, a restoration of those ideas, but we want something more than that. The ideas of 1791 along with the understanding and the vision of 2091. That's what we must work together to build. And I again ask you to join me on a personal journey over the next few months. This is a journey like any marathon or any mountain climb. You have to get into shape first. If you're not a member of a group, join one. If you haven't taken the 40-day, 40-night challenge, take it. If you haven't read a book, read one. The journey for America is about to end or begin.